Okay, so this chapter is about this chapter software process improvement. Okay, input process, output is a software. So the process we are referring to the analysis, design, code, test, implement. Okay, so software process improvement. So this is a process. So we have to improve this process. So these are the reasons why we want to improve the software development process to reduce development time, improve the process so that the development time becomes shorter. So to reduce development costs, to increase software quality. Okay, so this slide is to tell you factors that determine product quality. So the product here refer to software. Software is a product. So large project, what are the factors that determine the software quality? So large project, what factor determine what determines software quality? So it's a process. So the process determines the software quality. So developer capability average is good enough. So if developer's capability is of average quality, so the development process determines the software quality. Okay, but for small projects, so what determines the software quality is capabilities of developers and also the technology used. So small projects are handled by small companies. Okay, for small companies, the quality of software produced is determined by the capability of the developers and the technology that you use. So large projects are handled by a large company, so the process determines the software quality. Okay, but take note, okay, if schedule is unrealistic, the time given is too short, okay, so both small and large project quality will suffer. So the amount of time given to complete a project must be realistic. Okay, if the timeline is unrealistic, okay, so small and large project will suffer in quality. So this is what you need to do. So the slide here is to tell you what you need to do to improve your software quality. So what you need to do, okay, first measure your existing process. So you have to do measurement here. So you have to measure. After measure, analyze your existing process and improve. So what can you measure? Tell me what are the things that you can measure. Check the slides, what you can measure at this stage. Time, So you can measure the time from here to here, or the time to complete analysis, the time you spend in design, the time you spend in coding, the time you spend in testing, the time you spend in doing implementation. You can measure the time for each individual phases, or the time from start to end. You can measure. What else you can measure besides time? Okay, check. Here the first stage is you have to do measurement. Resources. Okay. Entry. Event. Okay. Time, you can give example of time. Time example from the beginning stage to the end stage. How much time you spend? The amount of time you spend on at each stage. Okay. Resources example. Number of software engineers. Number of software engineers. Say number of software engineers required at this stage. Number of testers required at this stage. Event, can you give example? Tell me, check and tell me.
Number of defects discovered.
Number of defects discovered. Number of defects discovered here. During number of defects discovered. Defects discovered. After implementation, you can say after implementation, defects. Defects, number of errors, number of errors, number of errors found during unit test, number of errors found during module test, number of errors found during system test. You can measure. You do unit test, how many errors found? You do module test, how many errors found? You do system test, how many errors found? User acceptance test, how many errors found? Okay, all this you can measure. Okay, so process analysis. So you can measure. Okay, process measurement. Process measurement, these are the things that you can measure. Okay, example. So if you can give example, If your example is correct, that means you have proven to us your correct understanding. Those who can prove correct understanding, then you get better score. So this is what you need to do to improve your process. Okay, so this is the cycle, the improvement cycle is what you need to do to improve your process so that you produce better quality. Okay. So this is what you need to do to improve your software development process. This is not a one-time activity, this is a repetitive activity until you're happy with your software quality. That's why you can see these three arrows, they form a circle. That means you have to do this repeatedly, okay, until at the end your software is of high quality. So what's the purpose of this GQM? So here you have to do measurement. If you do not know what you want to measure, then use GQM to help you to decide what to measure. Okay. So GQM is to help you to decide what you want to measure. So first you have to specify what is your improvement goal. So there are many things that you can improve. You have to correctly identify what you want to improve. Example, you may want to improve amount of time needed to maintain software. So you want to improve the amount of time you spend in doing software maintenance. So what the question GQM is specify the goal, then find out what the relevant question related to the goal, and they will help you to decide what to measure. Alright, so this is the goal question. How big is the software? How easy it is to understand the software? Any other relevant question? Reduce effort in software maintenance. How big is the software? How easy it is to understand the software? Any other relevant question? What to measure? How big is the software? Lines of code, number of methods. How easy is to understand the software? Number of command lines, length of variable name, pages of documentation. So what else you can measure? Pages of documentation. Command lines, variable name, pages of documentation. More pages of documentation will help you to have a better understanding of the software, correct? If documentation not found, that means you have to. That means it will depend only on the lines of code. understanding the line of code. The source of information is the lines of code. If there's no other things, there's no requirement spec, there's no design documentation. Okay, so CMMI continuous versus stage model. So this is stage model. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. 5 level. Highest is level 5, lowest is level 1. Okay. So CMMI stage model require company to follow predefined key process area. Okay, so example, to move from level 1 to level 2, a company must develop competencies in what? So to move from level 2 to level 3, so company need to develop competence, a certain specific area of competencies. Right? Okay. This one. Predefined. So level 1 is the lowest level. So if an organization want to move to the next level, level 2, so the organization must develop key competency in predefined areas. So each level, okay, so to move from one level to the next level, a company must have achieved certain predefined level of competencies. Okay, so for CMI continuous model, so company can choose process area for improvement according to their own needs and requirements. So this one is flexible. So this one is flexible. The organization can choose a process area where they want to develop their level of competency. Okay. So PA means process area. Okay. PA is process area. So organization can choose a process area to develop their level of competency. If this process area is very important to the organization, so the organization can choose to develop this process area, okay, until to the maximum. Okay, another process area, okay, up to level 2, another one up to level 3. So 1, 2, 3. Then can add another 4 process area. So this one just follow what are the process area that an organization need to develop for each stage. So this one, the organization can choose the process area that they want to improve. This one follow predefined key process area. And this one choose the area that the organization want to improve. This is flexible, this is rigid. This is flexible or rigid. This is very flexible. This is very flexible. This is very flexible until you don't know what to do. This is very flexible until you don't know what to do. This is very flexible until you don't know what to do is because, I say this is because you start with measurement. Okay? Your process, your development process, you have to identify what are the activities. When you develop software, you have to identify what your activities. You have to define your activities. Then you measure. Okay. So textbook says, this is what you can measure. There are also other things that you can measure. You don't know? There are also other things that you can measure. Use GQM to find out. So after you measure, you analyze. After you measure, you analyze. What's the problem here? What's the problem here? You have to analyze. Okay, after you analyze, change. Okay, change. You are doing unit test, module test, system test, user acceptance test, but you have to change. How you can do testing faster? You have to think it yourself. So this one, you want to improve your software quality, you want to improve your software development process, you want to improve the way you manage risk. Look at the requirements. Okay, look at the requirements to move from level 1 to level 2 and fulfill those requirements. Okay, acquire the necessary skill that you must develop to move from level 1 to level 2. There is a predefined requirements, just follow them. Okay. This is flexible, just do these 3. Just do these 3, but where to start? You have to think it yourself. You have to make your own plan. Okay, so I was want to stop here. Any question? This chapter, any question? You have 8 minutes left. I will not go through the slide. Okay, I just open this slide. You have any question? is very direct, difficult to answer. You focus on those that are with color. Okay, next question. Don't forget to bring your calculator. Okay, nice, no more question. I wish you all the best. Next week replacement class. Next week replacement class is on Monday. I will still come to class, but it's just for Q&A session. Okay, so please, you have any question, okay, so please come and ask me face to face. So the best way to engage with me is you come and meet me face to face. Okay, and ask question, I can give you answer, I can explain, elaborate. If you ask me using email, Google Chat, I think I will ask you to come, fix an appointment and see me. Because you ask me a question using Google Chat, it's not a good way, a lot of ding dong. I would not reply much. When I didn't reply much, didn't write much to explain what you asked in your question, you keep asking. It's not effective. So the best way to engage with me is see me face to face. So the best time is next Monday. Make use of the time. Okay, so thank you.